Moai, also known as the Easter Island Heads, are monolithic human statues situated on Easter Island in Polynesia. They are known for their overly large heads, which make up almost half of the whole statue. The heads have heavy brows, lips that protrude into a thin pout, and elongated noses and ears. Except for one kneeling moai, the statues do not have clearly visible legs. Though moai are whole-body statues, they are often referred to as the Easter Island Heads. This is partly because of the disproportionately large size of their heads, and also because many of the statues have been buried up to their shoulders. The average height of a moai is around 4 meters, and each one weighs around 12 tons. Most of the 900 moai are carved from volcanic tuff, which is compressed volcanic ash, though some are also made of black basalt. The statues were carved by the Rapa Nui people between 1250 and 1500. In addition to representing deceased ancestors, the moai may also have been regarded as the embodiment of powerful chiefs and important lineage status symbols. The moai statues face away from the ocean towards the villages, as if to watch over their people. The exceptions are the 7 ahu akivi, which face out to sea to help travellers find the island. To the ancient Polynesian people who erected them, the moai were actual repositories of sacred spirits. Carved stone and wooden objects in ancient Polynesian religions, when properly fashioned and ritually prepared, were believed to be charged by a magical spiritual essence called mana. According to local tradition, the mana was preserved in the hair. The more recent moai had pukau on their heads, which represent the top knot of the chieftains. The pukau were carved out of red scoria, a very light rock from a quarry at Punapau. Red itself is considered a sacred colour in Polynesia. When first carved, the surface of the moais were polished smooth by rubbing them with pumice stone. However, the porous rock from which most moai were carved is easily eroded. This means that many of the moai, which had detailed decorative carvings, have mostly been lost, though those that were buried up to the neck are less eroded and typically still have designs carved on their backs and posteriors. At least some of the moai were painted. Hoa Hakananaia was decorated with maroon and white paint until 1868, when it was taken from the island by the British. While placing it aboard their ship, the paint washed off. It is now housed in the British Museum in London. However, demands have been made for its return to the Rapa Nui. It is not known exactly how the moai were moved across the island. Early researchers assumed that the process almost certainly required human energy, ropes, and possibly wooden sledges and rollers, as well as levelled tracks across the land. However, more recent studies suggest that the statues were harnessed with ropes from 2 sides and made to walk by tilting them from side to side while pulling forward. Coordination and cohesion were essential, so they developed a chant in which the rhythm helped them pull at the precise moment necessary. Experimental recreations have proven that it is fully possible that this walking method was used. If correct, it can be inferred that the fallen road moai were the result of the teams of balancers being unable to keep the statue upright, and it was presumably not possible to lift the statues again once knocked over. However, the debate continues. At some point between 1722 and 1868, all of the moai that had been erected on stone platforms had been toppled. Oral histories include one account of a clan pushing down a moai in the night, but others refer to the earth shaking, and there are indications that at least some of them fell down due to earthquakes. Today, about 50 moai have been re-erected, with 11 or more moai removed from the island and transported to locations around the world. The Rapa Nui National Park and the moai are included as World Heritage Sites by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organizations. In 2008, a Finnish tourist chipped a piece off the ear of one of the moai. The tourist was fined $17,000 in damages and was banned from the island for 3 years. In 2020, an unoccupied truck rolled into a moai, destroying the statue and causing incalculable damage. The owner of the truck was a Chilean man living on the island. He is currently facing a fine of almost $17,000, alongside any criminal consequences following the investigation by the authorities.